Hi, my name is Kate Schuster. I'm the director of the Middle School Public Debate Program, which is a community service and educational outreach program at Claremont McKenna College. I'm here at the college this summer as part of our summer residential programs. These are all students who are middle school students who've been debating for 1 to 2 years, who are here on campus for summer enrichment programs. They're here to do a sample debate for you. On my right is the proposition team. On my left is the opposition team. Today we'll be debating the topic, television is a bad influence. All right, let's get started.
The proposition side of this debate believes that television is a very bad influence for these reasons. But first off, we'd like to redefine this topic to television is a bad influence for children 13 and under. Now to go on to our points. Our first point is that children mimic bad things. If a child under 13 sees something on TV, they're very likely to want to feel more mature and try to do these things. But there's many bad things on TV. There's violence, there's drugs, language, alcohol use. If a child sees these things and then tries to mimic them, that could end up in a not safe community, or it could just lead to bad things. The kids could grow up thinking that these things are okay because they mimicked it when they were a child. Our second point is that there's no health. When you're sitting watching TV, there is no health in that. You will lose no weight. You could possibly even gain weight because many people eat when they watch TV. So if you're just sitting on a couch for a few hours a day, eating and watching TV for a few hours a day, then how will you be able to run America, since the children are the future of America, how will you be able to run America when you grow up? Thank you, yes?
You can eat things like vegetables or healthy things while you're watching TV.
Yes, you could, but how many kids do you know who grab a carrot and go watch some cartoons like it? Our third point is that there are many beneficial activities that are lost when you watch TV. There's many important things that kids 13 and under need to do. One of them is homework. If you're watching TV instead of doing homework, then how are you going to get good grades and how are you going to pass school? No, thank you. Also, reading. Reading is good to develop your language arts skills and just to make you a smarter person. And if kids are watching cartoons over something that can help them be successful when they grow up, this isn't good. And finally, you also need time for family and friends. If you have no time to be social with friends or to talk to your family and hang out with them, what will you grow up to be? No, thank you, yes?
What if their homework is to watch a presidential speech on TV?
Then that's great. But most of the time, okay, yes, kids can watch a presidential speech for homework, but most of the time they're watching cartoons or violent shows. No, thank you. Our fourth point is the stereotypes. In many cartoons and shows, the good guys usually portrayed as pretty and a shining light on them, and then the bad guys kind of dark and ugly. If kids watch these shows and get these stereotypes stuck in their mind, what do you think will happen when they grow up? If they grow up and think that these things are true, they would have just a bad view on life. And there's also many racial stereotypes on TV. If kids watch these and watch TV and get these racial stereotypes in their heads, when they grow up, they could think that, oh, it's okay to do this. It's okay to think that this is the right way, when it's not. The world doesn't always work like how it is in TV. There's also many lots of smoking and drugs in TV. And there are stereotypes in TV that one race or one kind of people smoke or do drugs. And this isn't true. Kids shouldn't learn this when they're little. Our fifth point is obsession. It's fantasy versus reality. If you're sitting on the couch watching 3 to 4 or 2 hours of TV every day, then you're going to confuse the real life with entertainment. If 6-year-olds are watching Power Rangers for a few hours, they won't know real life versus fantasy. They won't be able to contribute to the real world because they won't be able to differentiate between entertainment, which is made to entertain and is usually fake, and what they'll have to do to be successful in life and contribute to the real world. So to go over our points and our impacts. The first one is that children mimic bad things. If they get a bad influence from television, then it could create a very violent community. If they see violence or drugs on TV, your community could be less safe, and people could even die because of what they see on TV. And second, there's no help. There's no help. You lose no weight when you're just sitting watching TV, and sometimes people eat when they watch TV. This can make them even more obese, and they won't be able to run America when they grow up. Third, the beneficial activities are lost, such as reading and homework, which you'll need to pass and be successful in life. Also, there are many stereotypes that aren't true, and the kids might get stuck in their minds because of TV. And finally, the obsession, fantasy versus reality. Kids need to know what's real and what's not. And if they're watching entertainment all day, they won't be able to know the difference when they grow up. Thank you. Please vote for proposition.
There are many cases when television can be a good influence. I'm going to tell you why television is not a bad influence for children under 13. First, I would like to refute my opponent's point. They said that children can mimic bad things, but children can also mimic the good things they see on TV. There are many healthy messages that children do see on TV. For example, shows like Sesame Street tell children about healthy messages, and the Cookie Monster tells how cookies is a good sometimes snack, not an always snack. They also said how there's no help. But like I just said, Sesame Street and many shows on TV and commercials on TV tell how to improve your health and how to eat right. They said that there's no time for reading, but you do not watch TV all the time. You have to do homework, and many children do their homework. They said that stereotypes on TV wasn't before TV was, and it was not because of TV. So it's not really TV's fault that there are stereotypes. Not at this moment. And for another point they mentioned was that children won't be able to contribute to society. Well, they will be able to contribute to society. They learn about news. Children 9 to 12 do watch news. And since they limited the age to 13 and under, 9 to 12 does count. And those children do watch news, and they learn things from news. Not at this moment. They also said how people can die, and that people can die by watching TV because they're watching bad things. But the top 3 shows that children watch are Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, and PBS. Those shows do not have any influential things in which children learn how drugs or that they can die. We agree with the proposition that TV is the best, that TV does have some bad influences, but the goods outweigh the bad. Now for my own points. First, television provides a healthy message for children. Disney Channel, for example, has many shows that encourage children to eat well. They tell children that it's not good being obese, and children are not as obese as it was a couple of years ago. The obese rates are decreasing a little. Yes.
You said before that before TV there were still stereotypes. We're not saying that TV created stereotypes, but if kids are watching 4 hours of stereotypes a day, don't you think that will influence them?
But kids are not watching 6 or 4 hours of stereotypes a day. They're not watching because those shows that most kids under 13 and 13 do watch do not have very many stereotypes. Maybe 1 or 2, but that is not many for the whole world. Not at this moment. Disney Channel encourages children to eat well. Children can eat vegetables while they're watching TV. Actually, vegetables and fruits, children find them that they are sweet and they are healthy for you. Children are learning healthy things on TV, and that is what counts. Second, TV can be educational. According to the New Yorker, IQs of people and children mostly increased by 3 points in the last 30 years. 3 points, that is a lot for an IQ. We can learn a lot of things by the news. We can learn what is happening in our society today and how we can help society today. Yes.
You said that in the last 3 or 2 years that IQs increased by 3 points, but just because IQs increased didn't mean they increased because of TV.
Actually, according to the New Yorker, which did a study about TV, it showed that the 3 points was mainly because of TV. According to our sources, 64% of TV is good, or it does not have a bad influence. For example, sports. How do things like sports, basketball, football, how is that a bad influence? You're learning exercise. It teaches you to go outside and try to be like Kobe Bryant or whoever you want to be. Third, for these reasons and more, the opposition has won this debate.
Television is a bad influence on children 13 and under because 1, they mimic bad things such as violence, drugs, language, and alcohol. 2nd, because there are many health effects that come from television. 3rd, children are wasting their time watching TV when they could be doing other beneficial activities. 4th, TV creates many bad stereotypes that children will carry on throughout their lives that are not recommended in society. And 5th, children who watch a lot of television cannot tell the difference between reality and fantasy. But first I'd like to refute my opponent's points. My opponent said that they can watch news on television, but as we have said before, it is better to read. And what is better than reading the news in the newspaper? Therefore, children can increase their vocabulary skills and writing skills, and they can learn about the news without watching violence. They can only see pictures, and pictures can show what is going on, but however, will not show people actually killing. My opponent also said Disney Channel is a top show, and Disney Channel shows many good things. But actually, Disney Channel even shows stereotypes. A recent study done showed that Disney Channel movies on TV showed elderly portrayed as senile, crazy, wrinkled, ugly, or missing teeth. Do you want the children and the future of America to think that all adults are crazy and retarded? No! Yes.
You said that, that in newspapers there can be pictures of people dying. Yes, there can be. On TV, it just shows kids what's happening during right now in the world.
Actually, I said that newspapers show pictures of people dying, but they don't show it while people are killing them, like in actual motion. So children aren't as afraid of these pictures and aren't as influenced. My opponent also said that children have to do homework and other things. But actually, children go to school for 900 hours a year. However, children watch TV for 1,424 hours. That is 524 more hours watching TV than in school, Judge. In those hours, children could be playing, socializing, reading, spending time with family. There are many other valuable things than TV, and TV is just sucking up children's lives and showing them bad influences and giving them unhealthy influences. And my opponent also said that the New Yorker had a study done about TV, and it proved that their IQs were increased by 3 points. But reading the newspaper has been proven that it can increase your SAT scores by at least 100 points. Children whose IQ scores are increased by at least 100 points will be more likely to get into colleges, and which will help them become successful later. And instead of watching TV, they will be reading newspapers and learning about the world. I'd like to go on to my own points. My first point is that children can mimic bad things. 2/3 of all programming contains violence, says the University of Michigan Health System. And if 2/3 are containing violence, children are obviously going to see violence at one time or another. And if they're seeing violence, they will mimic it, and eventually our society will become extremely violent. And as we are debating, as the United States is debating right now, that the death penalty should be abolished, but it should not be abolished because television is influencing violence. And if violence is being influenced, there will be more violence in the world and more criminals, which should not be happening. Also, Television causes ADD. A study done of 1,345 kids showed that 3 hours or more of television a day made kids 30% more likely to have ADD, attention deficit disorder. If children have attention deficit disorder, they cannot concentrate in school, and they cannot do well in school if they cannot concentrate, and therefore will not do as well on their SATs and become successful later in life. Also, children are becoming obese, and weight gain is the second most killer of children. Anything we can do to save children from being killed is and if TV is at least, even if it's 10% of the reason why children are being obese, we should get rid of it, because anything that is making children obese and getting childhood diabetes is bad. Also, later on in life, children will get heart disease, such as stroke, heart attack, and other diseases that will make their lives miserable. Children are wasting their time watching TV when they could be doing beneficial activities such as socializing and reading. And if children are socializing and reading, they will increase their social skills and their reading skills, which will definitely help them later in life. Not learning what Dora the Explorer said on Disney Channel on Saturday morning. Because children can watch the news, can read the news instead of watching it, because they mimic bad things on television, such as violence, because their health decreases because of television, and because they could be doing many other beneficial activities, is why television is a bad influence, and the proposition has won this debate.
I would like to start off by eliminating the point of stereotypes. The stereotypes should not factor in this debate because stereotypes have been around way before TV has even occurred. This is not even relevant because stereotypes are everywhere nowadays. You can just not, even if you don't have a TV, you still get stereotypes from everyone around you, even if they don't watch TV either. It's just natural and common. It's not a good thing, I will admit that, but it's not something you can prevent no matter what you do. Also, as the first proposition has stated, that good that kids are watching educational TV, and that's good for some things on the news. But if you're saying we should ban TV for kids under the age of 13, then they won't be able to watch these things on TV for a presidential speech. And you can't watch a presidential speech in a newspaper. No thank you. Also, the second opposition speaker has said it is unhealthy, and that sitting there, and so did the first proposition speaker, that it was unhealthy, and you're sitting there and you're eating, and you don't exercise. But what if the shows they're watching encourage them to go dance with the singers that are on there, like for little kids, Dora the Explorer, when she says, "Vámonos, let's dance," and they just dance along to this whole song. That's exercising. Even if it's a small play, it's still helping. Also, what does the death penalty have to do with this topic? We're not talking about the death penalty, we're talking about TV. Yes.
The death penalty has to do because television influences violence, and the National Institute of Mental Health showed that violence on TV does lead to violence in the real world. And if children are committing violence in the real world, they will commit other horrible crimes.
First off, the death penalty is on TV, yes, but if it's on TV and it has something to do with kids watching it, your point does not make any sense. It's just completely misinterpreted for this debate. And you keep bringing up the ADD factor for TV. It is a possibility that kids are that have a more likely chance for ADD from watching TV, but it is not a proven fact.
Shame.
No thank you. And also you said stereotypes of adults, that Disney Channel has a percentage of where they say adults have no teeth and they're ugly and they're wrinkly. Well, what about looking at their parents? Those are adults, grandparents. There's no stereotyping when you know the truth. No thank you. Now to my own points. Disney Channel, for a fact, encourages little children to get up and dance and sing. Or the old cartoon Popeye and his spinach, where he encouraged kids to eat spinach so they would get energy to go do things. The dance and sing along so that kids will get up and move while they're watching TV, and encourages them to have a healthy snack with their TV watching. Also, Nickelodeon, which is another one of the top 3 shows that for educational TV for kids to watch. It shows them that they encourage kids to get up and move. And every summer, there is a get out and play program with Nickelodeon turns off their station so that kids will get out there and play for a whole week of no Nickelodeon. Yes, no thank you.
You stated that the Nickelodeon 1 week in the summer they turn off the TV. That's 1 week out of 52 weeks.
1 week is better than no weeks. It's trying to help. It's a start. It's better than nothing. Now I'd like to clear up a point my teammate has stated. The true point is that every decade since 1920, the average IQ of a child between the ages of 10 and 13 has gone up 3 points. This is a study from The New Yorker written by Stephen Johnson that proposes that what is making us smarter is really what we thought was making us dumber, which is TV. Also, news. If we had no news and the kids didn't get to watch it, then they would not see the presidential speeches out of time, out of cue. News, weather, weather and news. 2 main things kids need to learn about what's happening in their lifetime of right now. And if they don't know what's happening, the kids will outcast them for not knowing the truth. This is why that the opposition has won this debate. We know that TV has some few negative effects, but we also know that the goods do outweigh the bads. The TV is a machine, Judge. It is not to blame for any yet few negative effects that it has. If anyone is at fault, it would be a parent, because parents should be watching what their kids watch on TV. So, to review my opponent's points, to review racial, gender stereotypes, the good and the bad stereotypes, before TV was even invented, there were stereotypes all over. That is because race was something that people weren't proud of a long time ago. And that's something that we can't change now. But showing it on TV is not going to influence any more than it already has in the past. Also, she says that it increases ADD and obesity chances. There are other causes. People can be born with ADD. People can develop it from other things as well. Also, with obesity, there are medications that can cause kids to get also more obese. Medications that kids get for asthma, things, just certain medications that can increase weight gain. Also, if it's kids' choice to eat junk food or healthy foods during watching TV, that is their choice to make. But it's not TV's fault when kids decide to eat junk food or healthy food. Also, they said that there's no way to tell the difference between fantasy and reality. News, Judge. News shows reality. News shows what happens in the world. That is reality. That's what kids need to know, that things are happening every day. People are dying, but that's something that they're going to have to get used to. You can't raise them in a world with perfect things. Also, they said that that newspaper, but you can't see live educational programs. Maybe you have a homework assignment that's assigned to you to respond to an educational program. You can't watch a presidential speech. Things such as these are important to kids' education as well. Also, they said that they're watching 1,453 hours of TV on average a year and only 900 school hours. Judge, there are 8,760 hours in a year. What other things could they be doing during this time? Exercise, playing with friends, social life, sleeping as well. Also, there are many things that kids could be doing. Now, to influence my teammates' points. First of all, without education, people would fall behind. People who can't afford education need to be able to have some source of early learning. Therefore, they can be protected from discrimination instead of being influenced by it. So,
Also, no, actually it is not. We are talking about stereotyping. Well, this prevents stereotyping with people who have lower funding. Also, it is educational, has educational programs. IQ has increased over the years. We have shown you all these things that are obviously proving that the opposition has won today. Thank you.
Because watching TV keeps our future generations from being the wealthy, successful, well-educated people they should be, is why the proposition team believes that TV is a bad influence for children under 13. And I'd like to start by refuting some of my opponent's points. They were stating how that they promote healthy things and that they encourage that the television shows encourage you to get up and dance and play. But isn't it better to go outside and completely exercise and get more exercise than just dancing around in front of a television show? And also, you should be encouraged to exercise on your own, not because a television show is telling you to. Also, they stated that for stereotypes, that doesn't matter, that it's irrelevant, and that they were there way before TV, but that's not true, because stereotypes, like good guys are always pretty and bad guys are always ugly, is very important, because if children grow up thinking that all pretty people are safe to be around, then they're going to be more vulnerable to being kidnapped if they think that anybody pretty is just safe, and so that they don't have to worry about strangers if they're pretty. Also, they stated that that people who don't have learning, like they need this learning on the TV if they can't afford preschool. Well, last time I checked, books, which are more productive, are cheaper than buying a television set. So if you can read, like little kid books, like Hooked on Phonics, are things that can teach you. No, it's a rebuttal. These are things that can help you, and they're cheaper than buying a television show. And these are things that can help you learn in a more productive way. Also, they stated that the TV is a machine and it's not to blame because it's the parents' fault. But if the TV wasn't there, then we wouldn't have to worry about the parents being responsible. Because not all parents are responsible, even though they should be. And so we shouldn't be saying that the TV isn't to blame, because if it wasn't there, we wouldn't have to worry about the bad influences. Basically what they're saying is that there are these educational shows and that you can learn from the news. But when you can get these things from other places without the negative effects, is what's important, because you can still get education from reading books, which is more productive because it's better for your vocabulary and your writing skills. And you can still learn the news from the newspaper. And the violence that occurs from TV is a lot more significant than watching a presidential debate on the TV. And the violence that can occur from all this, from the influences of the TV, is definitely more important than watching a presidential debate that can be published in the newspaper. And if it's really that important, then your teacher can let you watch it in school so you can learn from it. Also, they stated that that the ADD is not proven, but that's not true, because we have evidence from the University of Michigan, and they have proven that ADD you are 30% more likely to get ADD from watching television. Now I'd like to go on and reiterate some of our points. And like we've been saying, this violence, the bad language, the alcohol, the drugs, these are things that will lead to a dangerous community, a dangerous society, and we don't want our future generation to grow up creating a dangerous, unhealthy society. And our next point is that it decreases health, because while you're sitting there, even if you are dancing around, you could be doing better things, exercising, things that are better for you. And because without the TV, you could have a better life, is why the proposition team believes that TV is a bad influence for children under 13, and we have won this debate. Thank you.